Welcome to Mindful Moments.
Yeah.
Nourish your mind on the go. This audio uses AI narration to present our original book analysis.
Oh, cool.
Today, we're going to be diving deep into not one, but two Sherlock Holmes mysteries.
Right.
The Hound of the Baskervilles and the Valley of Fear.
Sounds good.
We're going to be exploring how these two stories are more intertwined than you might think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm fascinated to see how those two come together.
Yeah, they're very different in setting and tone, but there's some really interesting connections that I think we'll uncover as we go.
For sure.
So let's start with the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Okay.
We're transported to the gloomy Gothic setting of Dartmoor, a cursed family, and this spectral hound just kind of looming over everything.
So spooky.
It's so spooky right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we have the death of Sir Charles Baskerville, which just kind of sets the stage for this whole mystery.
Yeah, under mysterious circumstances, of course.
Oh, yeah, very mysterious.
And then we have the heir, Sir Henry, arriving on the scene.
Right, and everyone's kind of worried, is he going to be the next victim?
Exactly.
But before Holmes even gets to Dartmoor, he's already piecing things together from afar.
Oh, that's right.
He's deciphering clues there's this burnt letter in a muddy old boot.
Right.
And it really shows his just incredible observation skills.
Yeah.
Even the tiniest details don't escape him.
He's so good at picking up on those little things.
And it's always a good reminder for us, too, how much we can learn if we just pay attention to the details.
Absolutely.
And speaking of details, let's talk about Stapleton.
Okay.
This character is shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, he's a creepy one.
Yeah, he's got this obsession with butterflies.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Right. And then there's this strange relationship with his sister, and his connection to the Hound is it's a very tangled web.
What do you think about his knowledge of the moor? Do you think it's a tool?
That's a really good question. I think it's both. I think he definitely uses it to manipulate events to his advantage.
Oh, for sure.
He's got that sense of control because he knows this landscape so well.
Right.
But I also think there's a deeper connection there, to the wild, untamed aspects of nature, which kind of ties into the darker themes of the story.
I see.
And then there's the story of Selden, the escaped convict.
Yeah.
His fate is so tragic, and there are all these misunderstandings surrounding his death.
Right.
It makes you think about how fear and prejudice can have these devastating consequences.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder to be cautious and to really think things through.
Yeah, to not jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the big reveal of Stapleton's true identity.
Oh, yeah. That was a shocker.
His connection to the Baskerville family is such a classic twist that shows how deeply rooted evil can be.
And how secrets can last for generations.
Yeah, it's not just about the spectral hound. It's about greed inheritance, this desperate attempt to reclaim what he believes is rightfully his.
Right.
It's chilling the lengths he goes to.
The things people will do.
So that's the Hound of the Baskervilles.
All right. So now we're shifting gears.
Yeah. Now we're going from the haunting moors of England to this grittier landscape of the Valley of Fear.
Okay.
And this is where we see Doyle's versatility as a writer.
Oh, for sure.
We go from Gothic suspense to something that feels almost like a Western.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very different tone.
Interesting.
But he manages to maintain that sense of dread and mystery throughout.
It's fascinating how he does that.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
So who are we meeting in this story?
We meet McMurdo.
Okay.
He's this tough, ambitious newcomer, but his past is a complete mystery.
Oh, intriguing.
And he gets drawn into this dark world of the Scourers.
What's that?
They're this ruthless secret society that's terrorizing the mining community.
Oh, wow.
And they're a stark contrast to Stapleton.
Oh, how so?
Well, Stapleton was this isolated evil.
Right.
But the Scourers represent this collective darkness, this mob mentality. And McMurdo, we see him rise to power within the lodge very quickly. But he's playing this dangerous double game.
That's risky.
Oh, yeah, it's very risky.
So what happens?
Well, then we have the showdown at Widow McNamara's.
Okay.
It's a trap set for the infamous Bertie Edwards.
Oh, wow.
And the action really heats up in these scenes. It's a whole different genre.
A story within a story.
And this is where the two stories collide in a truly unexpected way. Because Bertie Edwards is actually Jack Douglas.
Who?
The man presumed murdered from Burlstone in the Valley of Fear.
Oh, wow. I did not see that coming.
It's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
It connects these two seemingly separate narratives.
Wow, that's clever.
And then Holmes, he comes in and connects the dots even further.
Right.
Pointing to a shadowy figure pulling the strings.
Who's that?
Professor Moriarty.
Oh boy, this is getting serious.
Yeah, the stakes just got a lot higher.
Yeah, he's a whole other level of criminal mastermind.
Right. He's not just like a petty thief or a murderer. He's orchestrating these elaborate schemes.
So both of these stories are somehow connected to Moriarty.
Yeah, it's almost as if the fear and darkness we see in both stories are stemming from a single source.
That's a chilling thought.
It is, right?
So it's like Moriarty's the puppet master behind all this darkness.
Yeah, it's like he's manipulating everyone and everything for his own twisted ends.
Makes you wonder about the nature of evil itself, right?
Yeah, is it something that people are born with? Or is it something that can be learned or imposed upon them?
Right, like are people like Stapleton inherently evil?
Yeah.
Or is it figures like Moriarty who are kind of orchestrating and manipulating them into doing evil things?
That's a really interesting question, and it makes you realize that these stories are about more than just solving a mystery.
Definitely.
They're exploring these deeper themes like greed and revenge and the consequences of unchecked ambition.
Totally. Like in Hound of the Baskervilles, we see how superstition and fear can hold a family captive for generations.
It's like the legend of the Hound becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. They're so afraid of it that they become paralyzed by fear.
And it shapes their actions and beliefs, even when there's no logical reason for it.
Yeah, it's like the fear itself becomes a character in the story.
Exactly.
And then in the Valley of Fear, we see the brutal reality of power struggles and how far people will go to maintain control.
The Scourers are a perfect example of that.
Yeah, with their secret rituals and their ruthless tactics.
It's a really disturbing look at what can happen when a group of people decide they're above the law.
Right, and how they use fear and intimidation to get what they want.
And Doyle doesn't shy away from portraying the violence and the darkness of their world.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
But it's a reminder that these things exist and that we need to be aware of them.
Absolutely. And in both stories, we see how important observation and deduction are in the face of such darkness.
Yeah, Holmes is like a beacon of reason in these chaotic worlds.
Right. He's always looking for the truth.
And his methods are so fascinating.
Yeah, he's so meticulous and methodical in his approach.
And he never jumps to conclusions. He always gathers all the evidence before making a judgment.
And he's really good at reading people, too.
Oh, yeah. He understands that people don't always tell the truth.
Right, and he can see through their deceptions.
Like in both stories, we see this theme of disguise and deception.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Stapleton transforms himself. McMurdo's living a double life. And Moriarty's always operating from the shadows.
It makes you wonder who you can really trust.
It does, and it makes you think about how often we might be misinterpreting the actions of those around us.
Exactly, like we might think we know someone.
Yeah.
But they could be hiding their true motives.
Right. So both stories are kind of challenging us to look beyond the surface and to really search for the truth.
And to question what we see and what we hear.
And speaking of truth, both stories also deal with the idea of justice.
Oh, yeah, but in very different ways.
Right. In Hound, justice is served through Holmes's pursuit of the truth.
He exposes Stapleton's crimes.
And he brings peace back to the Baskerville family.
Right. He's like a symbol of order and reason.
But in Valley, the lines of justice are a lot more blurred.
Yeah, McMurdo, even though he's part of the Scourers, he ends up helping to bring them down.
Right. But his motivations are complicated.
Yeah, he's not purely good or purely evil.
He's somewhere in between.
It makes you wonder if true justice can ever be achieved when you're dealing with a system that's so corrupt.
That's a great point, and it's something that's still relevant today.
Yeah, like how do we fight for justice when the system itself is rigged against us?
It's a tough question.
And you know, it's interesting how Doyle incorporates strong female characters into both stories.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like Beryl Stapleton, she eventually breaks free from her brother's control and tries to make a life for herself.
And Eddie Shafter, she shows so much strength and loyalty to McMurdo.
Even though she knows he's involved in some shady stuff.
Yeah, she believes in his potential for redemption.
And both women are reminders that even in a society that tries to limit their choices,
yeah,
women can still have a powerful impact on the story.
They can make their own decisions and shape their own destinies.
Exactly.
So yeah, these stories, they're not just about mystery and intrigue.
They go much deeper than that.
They challenge us to think about the nature of good and evil.
Yeah.
The power of fear and prejudice.
Right.
And the complexities of justice in a world where right and wrong aren't always so clear-cut.
It's amazing how Doyle manages to pack all that into these thrilling adventures.
It really is. He was a master storyteller.
And it's amazing how he can make you think about these deeper issues while still keeping you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, he really strikes that balance between entertainment, and thought-provoking themes.
Definitely. And, exploring these two stories together
Yeah.
really brings out those shared themes in a way that you might not notice if you just read them separately.
That's true, yeah.
They both tap into these, primal fears.
What do you mean?
Well, the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
Fear of the darkness within ourselves and within society.
Yeah, like those deep-seated anxieties that we all have.
Exactly. And whether it's the literal darkness of the Grumpen Mire.
Right. Or the figurative darkness of the Scourers and their hidden world.
Yeah.
Doyle's making us confront those shadowy parts of human nature.
It's like he's saying, we can't ignore the darkness. It's always there lurking beneath the surface.
And it makes you wonder if those fears are timeless.
Yeah, something we're always going to struggle with no matter what.
Exactly, like anxieties about societal structures.
Okay.
About who holds power.
Right.
About the potential for violence and corruption.
Those are the things that people have been dealing with for centuries.
Exactly, they transcend time and place.
So if this deep dive has left you wanting more, you'll definitely want to check out the full books.
Oh, absolutely. I highly recommend it.
There's just something about getting lost in the world of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it's so captivating.
His brilliant mind, his unique methods.
Right.
His unwavering dedication to the truth.
It's inspiring.
And both the Hound of the Baskervilles and the Valley of Fear.
Yeah.
They offer this amazing blend of mystery, adventure, social commentary.
That still resonates with readers today.
They're timeless.
So if you're looking for a thought-provoking read,
yeah,
that'll transport you to another time and place.
Definitely.
These Sherlock Holmes classics are worth checking out.
I couldn't agree more.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and purchase the books via the link below to delve even deeper into the worlds of the Hound of the Baskervilles and the Valley of Fear.